On August 1st, 1982, Sunday, Mahmoud Baro Mohammed, then as a Major General, crashed a coup attempt against Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. He did that in Nairobi. The purpose of today's recording is to explain what happened in his house, in his royal home in Garissa, in the neighborhood, and in Garissa town in general. Waswahili husema unaangukiwa na bahati. You wake up in the morning, broke and so on, alafu unaomoka. You get a phone call that you are the winner of 5 million jackpot. It happens. Mahmoud had a running dispute with Sawe, his immediate boss. When they had the differences had started way back. Mulinge wanted to retire, and Moi did not want Mulinge to retire. So Mulinge they agreed that the head of the army, Major General Sawe, be made the Deputy Chief of General Staff. Today they call his Vice CDF. He be made the Deputy Chief of General Staff while understudying Mulinge, so that when Mulinge goes, he takes over. So Major General Sawe was promoted to Lieutenant General. And Brigadier Muhammad Baro Mahmoud was promoted to Major General and made the army commander. But Sawe came to rediscover that he had no soldiers. He was a desk officer in Mulinge's office. So he went back to Moi and complained. Moi said that the army, you are a Lieutenant General, and the army commander's position is for a Major General. He said, I'd rather be demoted back to Major General and head the army than be a desk officer as a Lieutenant General. Moi decided that Sawe becomes a Lieutenant General and army commander. So Mahmoud reverted back to Deputy Army Commander with retaining the rank of Major General. So he continued being a Major General and Deputy Army Commander. But their differences were there. And another difference was, and I've seen it in the police, is that we have these police officers who joined the police as direct entry inspector of police. And there are those who started off as constables. Usually there is that you lack education, and the other one says you lack experience, such things. So that is also the problem with Mahmoud and Sawe. Sawe was a cadet officer. Used to say that Mahmoud was a bootman. So, and you know, Moi used to trust his tribe mate. If a very junior person from his tribe told him something, and another very senior person from another tribe, especially Luo, if they were told, if the person was to tell Moi contrary to what the junior officer from the Kalenjin tribe had told him, he would always trust that person. I've even come across instances where Moi used to wonder. Okay, a very good example is that one of Bishop Muge. Moi used to wonder why a Kalenjin would be used to attack a Kalenjin government. So it reached a time when Moi decided that Mahmoud had to retire. So Mahmoud was found in Nairobi when he was clearing. Others were in the northern Kenya doing military practice. doing military practice. That is why he is the one who was there and took over those people who were there. And the person who was to retire on that time, he stayed on for 16 more years. And that is why we should thank the Tonge rules, which states that somebody should work, they should be giving chance to other persons also to shine. But this being a video on what happened at his royal home, I'd say this. We woke up in the morning, just like any other day. While we woke up, Jackson Alalia, a nephew to my stepmother, who used to act as a houseboy. If you know of instances where every time you go on leave, you pick a young man or a young woman, pretend you are going to look for a job for her or him, they become house helps. When your leave is about to come, you look for a job for her or him, you go pick another person. So you work several years without employing a house help, only that they stay in your house for 11. That is what Jackson Alalia was. So he woke up on Sunday. He was going to prepare breakfast. As he was bypassing near the master bedroom, he was stopped by my stepmother and told Ebu ingia hapo uone. And you see, that is his mother's youngest sister. Now in African society, entering the bedroom of your mother's sister is like entering your mother's bedroom. So her telling him to enter that bedroom to Alalia is like telling him to enter in his biological parents' bedroom, which he was hesitant. And then in a second he remembered maybe his aunt's husband, who was my father, maybe had stroke or something, or an asasia. Maybe he was going to assist. So he entered there, but found my father in a statue form. If you remember ile mchezo ya watoto, statue, and my father was in a statue form, eyes gazing at a Panasonic radio. Eyes were gazing at the Panasonic radio, and he was frozen. So Alalia turned and looked at the radio, and the radio was Leonard Mambo Mbotela saying this. He was saying serikali imechukuliwa na wanajeshi na hakuna kutembea huku na huku, mnatakana mkae pahali pamoja na polisi wakae kama raia. Hey, everybody was shocked, eh? No, nobody. Is it me listening or whatever? Then somehow the radio was taken to the sitting room, and I had to crawl from wherever with my crutches. We listened to it. That was 7 a.m. news. 7 a.m. news. Then we took we went to the. That is when we remembered that our next door neighbor, the person on the other side of the fence, was Major General Mahmoud Baro Muhammad. So we went there, we found his wife there. She was hysterical. She was hysterical, all saying that wameua mzee, wameua mzee, wameua baba Halima. Said, we were assuring her, no, your father's side is the one, your husband's side is the one which is winning. But me, I had just completed Form 6 and I was 21 years, 1 month. I had already followed the issues of military. Kina Nchempong, kina Freda Kufo, Afrifa, you name them, in West Africa. So I was telling her, the side of your husband will win. Of course, if the side of the husband would win, the husband would be a minister and such and such. And you see, being the neighbor to a minister, I knew that huko ndio kuomoka. So we continued that way, and we kept on listening to our national Panasonic. The 3 families, Chief Inspector Barnabas Sousa's family, Major General, then he was a Major General, Major General Mahmoud, and the JI-TENGE family. So we continued listening. As we were listening, from 7 to 90 minutes, that is around 8:30. That is when Leonard Mambo now changed tone. He said, serikali ya Moi imerudi na imerudishwa chini ya uongozi wa naibu wa mkuu wa majeshi, Major General. Just that. And even the person who was translating into English was also saying that. Then a difference came here. She was insisting naibu wa mkuu wa majeshi yote was Sawe. And I was telling her, no. Your husband is the one who is a Major General. So we continued that way for about 30 minutes. That is when the name Major General Mohammed Mahmoud was mentioned. Things changed the whole town, the whole village. Since from that day, Nani says that the first time he pronounced, he took more than 30 minutes to mention the name Mahmoud. Nowadays he talks differently, and there is even some belief that he may have known about the coup before it happened. I'm sure those are the secrets he'll carry to his grave. Now, after the name had been mentioned, she was I can tell you Mrs. Mahmoud was very happy, and was not only happy with us, with the outcome, but also with us for standing by her. Then suddenly, the whole town remembered that Mahmoud had a home there. The military, which by road is like from Nyayo House to Nyati House. But if you walk, it is half the distance. Suddenly, the commanding officer of the barrack there came. He came with soldiers. They surrounded the home. Nobody was to enter there. But Mrs. Mahmoud was gracious enough. She stood there, pinpointed the JI-TENGE and Barnabas Souza's family and said, this can enter and go as they want. So we went there, me limping there. We sat there. That is the first time I entered that home. And you see, Kisomali ilikuwa inaongela. Brigadier. I was bored. So I said, let me go and see the town and feel the town. Hii ujasusi haikuanza kazini. I think I was born a jasusi. So I went to town. And every town you could, Brigadier, Tomboya. So I was asking, how does Tomboya's name come in? Then they told us that, they told me that during Shifta War, Tomboya had advised Jomo Kenyatta, that he should chase all the warriors to Somalia, then poison all the boreholes, and then when they come back, they drink the borehole and die. So since that time, they didn't like the Luos. So they were saying that Mahmoud must have been, when Mahmoud heard that a Luo was overthrowing Moi, he must have overworked himself. But anyway, that is what was talked on the street. And you see in the street, those people are proud and walking around. Okay, I was not envious of them, but you see, that is the time you could go to Garissa and enter any shop and order anything, and you'd be told, you don't even pay. They were very happy. That is the time when I saw genuine happiness in a whole town. Then I decided to go back to Mahmoud's place, because our place, nobody was there. Suddenly there was an alarm. Lorries came. They were evacuating everybody from the three houses. Barnabas Souza's home, General Mahmoud's home, and our home. We were being taken to a place called Bangale. Bangale is, there is the town of, as you're going to Nairobi or Mwingi, there is a town of Tubura and Coast. Pass there, go ahead. Somewhere there we were placed there. We were supposed to carry only testimonials, IDs and certificates. Because a plane that had left Nanyuki was not traced, and it had bombs. So it was believed that it could bomb Mahmoud's home. And if it bombs that, our home would also be bombed. I was limping and I was telling people, hey bwana, mimi wananiambia wewe umia vile unaumia, afadhali umie kuliko hiyo bomu ikuje kulipue. We went to Bangale, we stayed there. They were looking for the sky. The sky was, there were these powerful microscopes, looking to see if they could see any military aircraft that they would bring it down. Then at around 3 p.m., 3 or 4, stories came, not stories, a signal came that the plane had gone back to Nanyuki. You know what had happened was that the plane knew, the pilots knew that they had bombs on it, so they went to Mount Kenya and dropped the bombs there, and then went back to Nanyuki. So that is when we went back. Finally, as I complete the story, I want to tell you about my second and last time, because today's story was only about Sunday, 1st August 1982. What happened the second time? I told you Mama Halima had seen me being assaulted, and she knew I was on crutches because of an evil stepmother. So she remembered that me and Chief Inspector Barnabas Souza had informed her that if I were to join the military as a cadet officer, my father was never to know. So that is when she understood it. And 3 or 4 weeks after clearing everything, Mahmoud came, and me and Chief Inspector Barnabas Souza were called. The general, very humble, thanked our two families. And nimeambiwa hii ilikuwa ni kama mungekufa nyote pamoja kwa ajili yako. Then he turned to me and said, I'm supposed to recover my leg before February because the next selection. Wachana na hii nilikuwa nakujaribia ati naomba huku na huku. I am the overall in the Air Force. So if I say, and you are going to join the Air Force as an admin officer, an administrator without wings. But that is that. And then the police came, the police training came. I was recruited. And I have no regret. I wanted crowning, nikapata crowning, and that is what happened on Sunday, 1st August 1982. God save Kenya. God save Mzee General Mahmoud. May he live longer than me. Thank you.